Hello everyone. This is New Vang, and I am tuning in for day 7, I believe. Yes, today is the 7th. Day 7 of my 365 days live with New. I'm here with a cup of latte that I made. I'm actually trying this new collagen peptide thingy that my fiance said I should try because I do tend to have some knee pain when I'm lifting heavier, and he wants to see if that's going to help me with my knee pain so that it allows me to lift heavier when I want to go heavy on days and just build my strength up. So that is that. I do actually taste it in my coffee. I'm not sure if I really like it. It's supposed to be unflavored, but I can taste it. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like I have really good taste buds. I can really taste very distinctly like what is in there, like even if it's the slightest flavor, for a good majority of things. And what's interesting is that I actually, in human design, my cognition is taste. And I was like, recently I've been thinking, of course, I have a good taste palette, taste buds, because was designed to be able to really taste, and not just literally taste, but also try different things in life. And that's kind of how I figure out whether I like something or not. And that also, that cognition of taste is kind of how you take in the world. So your cognition is the way you take in the world, and mine is take in and experience the world, and mine is through taste. So that's kind of a little caveat for you. um, I feel like I always come onto these lives like giving you an update and forgetting that, hey, maybe you're catching me for the first time. So, hello, welcome if this is your first time. My name is New Bang, and if it's not your first time, well, hello, welcome back. Um, I would love to hear if you are watching live. You can put it in the comments. And if you're catching the replay, again, I want you to put it in the comments so I can see and I can just know that my message today or my experience has reached you or someone today, whenever you're watching it. So I am in my room, and look at this beautiful picture frame that my fiance and I have. We are actually on top of our bed. So I'm actually in bed. I was doing laundry and stuff like that. So, and my brother, like I shared yesterday, he is, man, I should stop. I'm always kind of like burping. I know it's like not very pleasant, but I'm always feeling that way when the past few times that I have been live. So I am sorry for that. Um, but yeah, so I am doing the live again here in my room, and I know it's a little early, especially considering that I did my live yesterday at 10 p.m. and it's about 11 right now. It just turned 11. But I wanted, my sister's coming over today, and I wanted to be able to, enjoy time with her and not feel like I need to go on live. So I wanted to take this time, and energetically, it was feeling good. And this also brings me to another point of creating your life so that it works for you, and you're still able to get what you want to get done, feel the way you want to feel. But it just takes that extra intention, that extra energy from you, once you have the awareness of what you want and how you want it to feel. Because once you have that information, then you can take action, right? But if you're just taking action to take action and there's no intention behind it, you don't really know how you're going to feel. And this is when people say life just happens to them, life just happens to you. And you can really shift that perspective by saying, like, life happens for me because you are part of the co-creation of that experience, of that life. And it all brings me back to my hair is wild. My message and my desire to empower people, to help them realize that they are more powerful than they think, than they know they're capable of. And this concept of personal power really being taking ownership and having power over your own life and over what happens to you. Of course, you can't control everything that happens to you, but at the same time, you want to have that extra space for your power, for things that you can control. So for me, like, I want to get this life done. I want to show up, and because I have committed and devoted myself, but at the same time, I also want to spend time with my siblings and make that connection strong. And at the same time, I have other things that I want to do as well. So I could have just been like, oh, like, there's too many things to do. Let me just stop and not do anything because life is overwhelming. Or I could, create intentionally my day so that if I want um, things A, B, and C done, that I can actually do them by just moving things around. So that's why I'm here live, literally like almost like 12 hours later to do today's live. And for the topic for today's live, hello, if you are joining me, welcome. Let me know in the comments, say hi. If you don't say hi in the comments, a lot of the times I don't see who is joining me, so definitely share that. I would love to just energetically know that you are with me. Yes, so my topic for today is very raw and true and authentic to what I am experiencing right now, and I always feel like that's why my lives are so sporadic in terms of like when I come on, and I don't have set topics that I talk about. And that's not because, I and that's because I work that way. It's not because like, oh, this is a strategy, right? It's because I work that way and I have experienced doing the other thing. And as a sacral being in human design, as a manifesting generator with the sacral authority, that just doesn't work. Like, if I say, okay, Monday I'm going to do motivational Mondays, Tuesday is tips Tuesday, like, if I do that, of course there's structure there, but I want to be speaking on something that feels true and aligned and present for me in the moment, so that I am energetically there and I'm sharing with you from true lived embodied experience that I'm doing and going through right now. So today's so here we are. Today's topic is how do you know when it's your authority, your intuition, and how do you know when it's just fear? Because there's so much conditioning, and this is also a little bit of oh, excuse me. Um, let me take this in my coffee. Let me put it down. How do you know that it's your authority, it's your intuition, or if it's just fear and conditioning, and maybe you're going through a tough time, and so there's a lot of fear, a lot of um, survival things that are really true, like, it's not just like you're thinking like, oh, I might not have any money. Like, the literal truth is like, you don't have money, so you do need to take some kind of action. And I I share that because I asked this question because I'm going through it myself, and as someone who is teaching human design and teaching listening to your authority, and let me really quickly share with you what authority is, because I cannot assume that everybody knows what it is. But intuition comes to people in different ways, and as well as in human design, we believe that the way you're meant to make decisions is not just purely through your intuition, or it's not definitely not through your mind. Your mind is there to help aid, help gather evidence, gather data for you, so that you can make the most aligned and informed decision based on your authority. So in human design, we all make decisions differently. There's like several ways that the different types make decisions. And so for me, my authority is a sacral authority, the gut, right? I have my intuition. Everyone has intuition. It's just the bodily knowing gift that we have. Every one of us have that. And it's, if you feel like you don't, then it's because you have silenced and oppressed it and like, suppressed it. I mean, not oppressed it, suppressed it within you to the point where it no longer is able to be heard by you. So if you feel like, oh, I don't have intuition, I just do what's logical, well, that's because you have experienced many, many years of listening to your mind, which is when human design, we say that's not where your decision making comes from. It comes from your authority. So my authority is my gut. And I am in a place right now where I've just moved to a new apartment and everything is like settling down and I have to make some very important decisions. I feel like they're important and I am having difficulty really tuning into my authority, my sacral. Like, because sometimes the fears in our mind, or there's in human design, there's more fears than just in the mind. There's fears of survival, there's fears of not feeling safe, not feeling heard, not feeling loved. So there's different types of fears associated with your energies and human design. But I feel like for me, sometimes my fears are so loud that it kind of feels like it's my sacral. It's like, okay, should I choose path A or path B? This or that, because that's how the sacral works. It gives a uh-huh or reaction to a situation. It does not, it's a very bodily sensation, and your gut is only living in the now. So if I think like, am I going to want to go to the store tomorrow? My sacral can't respond to that. It can only respond to what's happening right now. So that's the tricky part because I'm trying to make a decision for something that's happening in the future. And yeah, it's hard. And I want to share here that I teach and I share with people to follow their authority whenever possible. And I don't expect them to be perfect at it because I'm still struggling with it. And especially when it's big decisions like the one I'm making right now. And I'm not going to share what it is just yet because I'm still feeling into it and really allowing myself to get all the data that I need to get through my mind, of course. But then with that information, I listen to my gut at the end of the day and see how and feel how I feel about the situation. And as I was listening to a training today from one of the courses that I'm taking, the teacher was saying, hey, sometimes I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying? What was I thinking? Oh yeah, no. I'm sorry. It was when I was doing my money date today that I realized that because I was typing and like journaling because that's part of my money date is I journal and then I go through my transactions and I really think and and trying to cultivate and work on my relationship with money to a place where we are because I see myself and money as a relationship just like my relationship with my family or my partner. So that was where it happened. Every time I'm like cough or do something not so great, I'm gonna move the camera away, but I don't think that really helps because I have AirPods on. Oh dear. Mm, anyway, I was typing in my journal, and I realized that I really value freedom and the two choices that I have to make, the two paths that I'm choosing in between, is centered around my value of freedom. And path A allows me a lot of freedom in most of my life and areas of my life, very like a good chunk of my life. But then when it comes to certain situations, I am lacking freedom, and therefore it doesn't feel good, right? When those situations come up and I don't feel like I have freedom of choice, autonomy in those situations, then I don't feel good. So that's scenario A. And when I go to choose, if I choose scenario B, it is addressing scenario A's sticky points, but it's also sacrificing the other aspects of freedom that I have in my life. So I'm at a point where I understand now the reason behind my resistance and the challenge that it presents to me of why it was so hard for me to make a decision, um because in a sense, there's a pro and a con for each situation. And so listening to your intuition and making a decision from that place is hard, because you sometimes may wonder, like, what should I be doing? What decision should I make in order to secure a future that is safe and successful, right? We get into that mode. We live in a world where you have to plan, especially if you live in America. So yeah, I come here because I am struggling with that very decision, and I'm not sure how I'm going to navigate it yet. Part of me feels like, oh, I could always try out path A, and if it doesn't work, I can resort to path B. And I do feel like that's an option, but I think for me, now as I'm speaking with you, I feel like what I desire to do is really get myself into a place through meditation or breath work or something like that, so that I can really connect with my inner truth and ask that question again: do I want this or do I want that? It's for my sacral to respond in a really authentic way. And so I think that's my plan of action. But I wanted to share that with you today, because if you don't know what it feels like to for something to feel like a yes for you, that is the first step. You want to get to know your authority. And if you have not looked up your human design, you can totally do that for free online. Just go to Google and put human design chart generator, and you can generate your chart and just look for your authority. They'll tell you your authority, your decision making authority, and you will find out whether you're sacral, whether you're splenic, which is like your intuition, your survival instincts, your emotional authority. You are either a self-projected authority, an ego authority, slash willpower authority, um, or a mental authority. So those are the different types of authorities, and you can read up on them. There's a lot of information online about all the authorities. So I really encourage you to check that out if you haven't already, or if you already know your authority. Maybe I need to learn to breathe when I'm doing these lives. If you already know your authority, maybe dive deeper into it and really understand on a deeper level what that looks like for you and what that means, and right, maybe practice, not maybe, but practice it, because you only get better when you practice it. It's like a muscle. It is a muscle. Like for me, at least, my gut is definitely a muscle. If you are your splenic authority and you just feel or hear or see your intuition, it still takes practice to hear, see, feel it, and honor it and act on it. That is the hardest part, is to act on it, to trust it, to go with it, because it is scary. And most of the time, your intuition doesn't make sense. It doesn't make logical sense. And therefore it's scary. Like our primal being, our primal side of our brain is like, that does not make any sense. You're going to die. So let's not do that. Okay. So that's where it gets tricky, and that's why it's so helpful when you have someone to talk to, someone who to guide you through it, mentor you through it, coach you through it. That's why coaches are so important, and that's why I feel like if you are looking for someone to just listen to you, but someone who knows a lot about um, human design, your authorities, decision making, conditioning, limiting beliefs, and who goes beyond just the logic, that is me. And I am here to help you really make those decisions, um, help you realize certain things, help you see things, help reflect back to you things that, sometimes it's just helpful to share. It is. That's why for me, in human design, there's also a definition. I'm a split definition. So that means a lot of the times if I cannot make a decision or I cannot process things unless I talk to someone or I talk to you. And as I'm talking and I'm sharing, and maybe I get feedback, maybe I don't, but through that process, I'm able to become more clear on what I want and what I don't want just by speaking it out. Okay. So that is something important to remember as well. And yeah, so I know I labeled this live like, how do you know it's intuition or fear? And what I want to say, and I do believe this, is your intuition is soft, it is quiet, and it is calm. It's not going to keep nagging at you. I'm going to keep it very simple like that. And your fear is loud, keeps nagging at you, and it is like loud, nagging, and it is very like it's like a little kid that keeps bothering you, and like it's like forceful, right? It's like, yeah, so that's fear. So when you want to distinguish between whether your decision is being based off of your intuition or fear, that's how you can distinguish. And a thought just came to my mind right now of like, why do we want to listen to our intuition, right? Why not listen to something that's going to be be more um advantageous to us in our situation logically, right? Why would we want to listen to our intuition? And here's the big reveal, the big answer, the truth is you want to listen to your intuition if you want to experience alignment within yourself. You want to listen to your intuition if you want to feel fulfilled at a soul level. You want to listen to your intuition if you care about your purpose beyond what other people expect of you. Like your true, genuine purpose is going to be led by your intuition. Your intuition is the driving force, the one who knows where you're supposed to go, and it will nudge you along the way. And if you care about making a difference, you care about how you feel, you care about your purpose that you are here to be and do, then that's why you should care about listening to your intuition over your fear, right? And I have the gate of why, or the gate of inner truth, and I always need to know the whys. And so that's why I want to share with you and be a model, an example of I'm choosing this path and really trying to listen and make decisions based on my sacral, because I care about how I feel. I care about my alignment. I care about being and acting in alignment with my soul, my inner knowing, and I care about my purpose here on earth. So that is why I'm not going to act and react from my fear. I will say, thank you, fear. Thank you for trying to protect me, but we will be okay if we do this. And that is, of course, if you're in a situation where you will truly be physically, emotionally, psychologically safe. Okay. I never want you to override your situation, because we all have very different situations. But I always share from my personal experience, and I just desire and hope that that is able to impact and influence others, such as you, in a positive way. All right, so that is going to be a wrap up for today's live. I found it to be very nourishing and good to come on here and share that with you as I'm navigating the situation for myself. And I will definitely, of course, I will be keeping you updated in the future lives on the decision that I have taken. So until then, thank you for tuning in. Let me know in the comments if you are watching the replay, and let me know if, share how this live impacted you. If you know what your intuition feels like, if you know your authority, that is all incredible information that I find so much joy in reading and getting to know my audience, you. All right, do not be shy, do not be a stranger, and I will see you tomorrow for the next live. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day.